Do you have any doubts in the yesterday's session from yesterday's session? Any of you can ask the doubts. We'll wait for 5 to 3 minutes, then we'll start the SPSS. Before that, if you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Okay, sir. Shall we start the session, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to
Good evening, ma'am.
fourth day of the 5-day workshop, data analysis using Excel and SPSS. And students, sir, one student Yamini is
Yes,
asking
yes.
to tell about.
Yes, ma'am. I will be telling about that pivot table. To
Okay, sir.
repeat the pivot table, I'll be repeating the pivot table.
Okay, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Oh,
Over to you, sir.
oh, just a minute. I'll close this SPSS and open the Excel sheets. Okay, this is what we have done yesterday regarding the pivot table. Just I'll be removing this first. I'll be just copying the data over here. I'm taking the data here and I'm entering in a new sheet. And I'm pasting the data here in order to make this pivot table visible. Then this is a table where different angles we can, by using different angles, we can also interpret. But what is the advantage of pivot table is that pivot table will enables you to customize your table. If you want to filter, if you want to apply the filter for this table, you can also apply. And also if you want to change the rows to columns and columns to rows, you can change. And if you want to make a summary, so and so Rajesh has purchased so and so amount, has so and so repeated names are Raju is there, is repeating, Kumar is there repeating, and you want to in order to ascertain individual, in order to ascertain the individual also, in order to ascertain the sum of the expenditure being incurred by them, we can also use these pivot tables. Just what I said, that select the data first. Either if you are not selecting the data, just select any cell from the data. Select any cell from the data and just click on the insert button. Then insert, we have an option called pivot table. Then just click on the pivot table. Then automatically a create pivot table dialog box will be appears over there in your worksheet. Then in this is asking the table range. See, I already said this, the dancing lines will be rotating this, will moving over this, identifying this is a cell range. This is a table range which you are going to calculate. And the existing worksheet, regarding existing worksheet, identify your location. I'm identifying the location here itself and also just clicking on OK. What comes over is that I'm going to get a pivot table dialog box. And this pivot table dialog box will be helpful in placing whether what type of column elements, what type of variable should come in form of rows, and what type of elements you should be able to see in the form of columns, and what is the sum of values what you are going to calculate on basis of what categories you are going to calculate. The only thing is that in values column there should be some number format value should be placed over. In whereas the column labels and row labels you can keep any items. No such restrictions on placing the items. No such restriction. Only in the place of values itself, just place only those which are involved with numbers, which are dealing with numbers. Okay, that's why I'm making this first as columns, values as numbers, and here already we have the data in form of the column wise. You have something data in form of Mohan, Raju, Mohan, and all these things is in form of the rows. What I'm going to do is that then when I take this product as rows, now I want as a product. Actually, in the given table, the names of the persons are in form of rows. Now I'm going to make this as a columns, names in form of columns. Then I can just click on update and also click on close. Okay, no problem. See what happens here. You'll get the row labels. The row labels are grocery, household items, refreshments, refrigerator, TV, and washing machine are the household items what you are going to see here. And whereas the column labels are the Kumar and Mohan and the names known as the categories who have been working on that and been given as a column labels. And see this, the grand totals are there here, and even I have said that you make your customization, go to the options or go to the design, and there you can also remove the grand totals, you can add the grand totals. So only if you want to see something as column totals, you can make column totals. If you want to see something as row totals, you can also see row totals. On for on and off, on for rows and also off for rows. Then you can remove this, you can also able to remove this. If you want to see the totals, you can also see for the in basing of the grocery. If you want to make the total, you can make the rows. If you want to go for the column wise, basing on the individuals category wise, then you can go for the column wise also. It means that Kumar has purchased so answer 15,500. You have to make your interpretation like this, then you will use this form of things. And even if you want to get in-depth details about the things known as 1500, if you want to get some value of 1500 and how it has been calculated, how it has been expended, just double click on this. A separate sheet will be generated. A separate sheet will be generated before the pivot table sheet. In sheet 4, we are making the operations. A pivot table sheet will be opened over here. And in this, we'll get the details that 1500 is related to Rajesh. He has purchased the grocery in Warangal, and so on. So 1500 rupees is the cost we are going to calculate. Okay, Yami, is it clear to you?
Yeah, sir, it's clear, sir.
Okay, now just we move on to the SPSS, Amma. Okay, just what you are going to say is that SPSS is a tool. SPSS is also a tool, statistical tool, which is going to use for which is being used by us for for various purposes, for research and also statistical analysis purposes. Purely, it is being used for the research purposes, and sometimes in order to make any statistical significance, in order to measure the statistical significance, we use this type of SPSS tools. What happens here is that first SPSS is a tool for, it's called a package. It's a package. Also, it calls a package. SPSS is abbreviated with statistical package for social sciences, but it's not restricted to the social sciences only. But nowadays we are using everywhere we are using. It's a statistical tool. First is a statistical package for social sciences, and it is mainly aimed at making the analysis, manipulating data, and also generating tables and also graphical representation. What even we are doing with Excel, we are going to do all those operations here also, but in form of advanced way, we can also use this SPSS tool. It's advanced tool when compared to MS Excel. It's a very advanced tool. Then what happens in SPSS is that in Excel, you come across an Excel worksheet known as a spreadsheet, and you come across sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3 in Excel. But here we come across two types of sheets called SPSS will give you three windows. Actually, the SPSS will give you three windows. When you open SPSS, it gives you three windows. Two are visible and one is invisible. But it defaultly opens the three windows. And among the things, first one is data editor. Data editor is the first window, and this above one is a data editor window. I'll show you in depth also in clear also when you open the tool. Then we also have output viewer. This is output viewer. The below one is output viewer, and also we have a syntax editor. If you want to edit something, also syntax editor is also there. If you want to make any additions, subtractions, and also any framing of two variables as one variable, then you can go for the syntax editor, and also you can do this. And different types of files. When you are done something about Excel, I said that XLS is the extension. When you're done with Word, we got the extension called .doc. When you're doing with PPT, .ppt is the extension for the so and so particular thing, particular Excel, particular Word, and particular PPT. Then for access .db database. The same way here also for SPSS data files, we have a file called .sav. We'll get a file name over there. .sav, we'll get the file name over there. And for output files, we'll get .spo. And for commands, we'll get the file name .sps. These are the three types of extensions we are going to see for the files which are going to save you on the system. Then I have given something about the data editor, and in data editor we have two types of views called data view and variable view. Then we have syntax editor and also output viewer. What happens in regard to the data editor? Data editor will display you all the information. Data editor will display you all the information by classifying the data into two categories called data view and variable view. What happens is that variable itself only the headings. What are the column headings and what are the row headings you have been taken? For the column headings particularly, then that will be given in the form of the variables. Whereas data, whereas the data view, in data view, then we come across the different things called whatever the data you are inserting related to the individuals, known as the respondents. Regarding the respondents information, whatever the information is there, then that respondents information will be recorded in form of the data view, and that data view will be there in the same sheet known as the data editor view itself. And the syntax editor for making some additions or subtractions or making two variables into one single variable, consolidating the data or merging the data, will use syntax editor. And output is that whatever the output is there, if you want to calculating if you are doing something about the graph, and the output will be created over there in the output editor, output viewer itself. Just I'll give you the screens in brief. See, this is a big screen how you are going to see the data editor. See, regarding the data view, in data editor, we have two views called data view and variable view, and this is the data view. In data view, we'll be able to place the all the values, means the responses of the customers, the responses of the respondents, or whatever may be the individuals are there, customers are there, masters are there, employees are there, whatever the variable you are going to take, and all those variables responses will be recorded in the data view. And in data file, the cases represent the individual responses of the survey, whatever the responses you are taking from the survey, and that will be present over there. And the variables are called the column headings. The variables are called the column headings. The column headings are the variables. And from this, we can also see this in this screen. In this screen, we can see that the file menu, edit, view, and data, transform, analyze, and some menus can be seen over there. We'll discuss menus over later. We have two things called data view and variable view in the data editor. Then see this cases called, the individual responses are called in form of the rows. Rows will be taken. And the data file is displayed in the data editor. Okay. And next we come to the variable view. This is variable view. In variable view, what happens is that data shouldn't be entered with one variable in one column. We need to enter a variable. It means name of the bank, name of the student, name of the respondent. Then we need to give that is a variable. An identified quality, identified future, identified distinction, what you are going to specify in your questionnaire, that will be the variable. If you are saying something about the marketing strategies, then that will be the only the variable marketing strategies. If you're writing something as recruitment strategies your variable. And what are the various methods you are going to adopt, or what are the options you are going to give, that gives in the form of the values. That will be values. But only the name of the tool, name is that name in what are the thing is what you are going to see in variable view is the first thing is that the column heading. The column heading called a variable. We need to give the name of the variable first, and its related elements can be given in the subsequent columns. See this name and this type and width, decimals, and all these things are there. Then these can be seen in the variable view. This is a data view and this is variable view. Easily we can switch over, as we are going to switch in the sheet 1 to sheet 2, sheet 2 to sheet 3. The same way here also we can switch over by just clicking on the data view. We'll go for the data view. By just clicking on the variable view, we go to the variable view. See, it is also been given when you enter the data like this, you enter. What is this actually? First, see the name. The name itself, giving the name, known as how you name the variable. How do you name the variable? There is only some constraint over there. I'll say what is the constraints which you are going to see in format while giving the name. The thing is that you should not use any spaces. The first constraint is that you should not use any spaces between the spelling. If you're saying that name of the student, name space of space the student, then for that situation, in that situation, you should not use the things called underscores or spaces should not be able to use this. If you use this, and it will not be able to accept when you practically do this, and will able to see this. And type of data you're going to give it form of, it means that whether you are entering the data of the responses in form of the, whether you are collecting the data in form of numbers, numerical forms, or text forms. For statistical analysis, we need to calculate only in form of the numerical analysis, the numerical forms. Unless the numerical forms, you cannot make the things done. That's why numerical form of analysis, numerical form of data, it's only will be present in the SPSS. Then width, it means that how many number of elements or how many characters will be accepted, how much any character, how many characters will be accepted over there, is that width is taken as 11. Then you can take 2, you can take 3, you can take 4 or 5, as your choice. It's not been restricted yourself. If you're taking something, if the value, if the salary of a person, it will be up to 6 digits, not more than 6 digits or 7 digits or even 10 digits, the highest salary you're going to get. If you want to restrict this length of the size is up to 10, you can length of the width. if you are giving something about the name of an individual, if you take my name, my restriction should be 20. Width of the size should be 20. If you're taking only the 5 characters or 10 characters, you cannot be able to get the insert the data over there. That's why limit how many elements you're going to write. If you're writing some name, it is very difficult to give. That's why it is given of numeric form. Numeric form for we'll give an all ticket. You can take an example of all ticket number, identification of all ticket number. The all ticket number will not be more than 10 digits. Phone number will not be more than 10 digits. Only the Aadhaar card is 16 digits. You can also restrict up to 16. No such restriction. You can restrict on your own basis basing upon the data required. And next, we also have some labels. Here in the label form, you can give your own name. You are giving the restriction with the restriction in form of the name of the in first column. But when you come to the label, you have no such restrictions. You can give your spaces, you can give anything, whatever the requirements are there, you can use your own purpose and you can make as usually whatever things required to you, you can do as usual. No such restrictions are there on the in the label column. You can give spaces, you can give closures, you can give a parenthesis, you can give whatever the things are there, and you can use all those things, and also you can classify, and also you can place all the elements in the groups. No problem in that. You can no such restriction on that. Then values. If you have some values, if you are defining some values as gender, for gender, 1 is for male, 2 is for female. For satisfaction levels, very satisfied is 1, satisfied is 2, neutral is 3, dissatisfied is 4, strongly dissatisfied is 5. If you are giving that such type of values, then also you can give in the values column. Missing, you are expecting something that people may answer for some questions, then such type of missing values are there. For regarding the name of the candidate, no missing value. You cannot expect the missing value because no person will be without the name. So missing values will be none. Age, you can interpret the age, you can expect the age, you can write. Gender, you can write. Whatever any regarding the perception levels, any such perception levels are there. In such cases, you may face this type of problem called none. Then remaining all other cases you'll be doing. And even when you go for the scientific form, systematical form of things, when you keep it's a compulsory question, they'll answer. When you're designing a Google Forms, or when you're making the proper questionnaire template, you fill it as compulsory field. You make it as a compulsory field. Then there is no such restriction. There is no such way of missing the answer, skipping the question. Then so that we can also remove this. And the number of columns is that column width is also 8. And the alignment, ALIGH alignment, is that how to place the data, whether to the right side of the column, to the left side of the column, or center of the column. You can also use this right side, center, and also left side. And the last one is the scale. The last one is the scale. And what is the scale is that when you learn something about the measurement scales, level of measurement scales called a nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scales in the statistics, and that scale will be taken over here. And I'm not going to ask you anything. First only I'm going to give you how do you identify, the scale, how do you identify the rating scales, and how do you identify the scale which is going to use in the SPSS is that I'm given like this. See, I have given something for rules for naming the variables. For naming the variables, special characters like asterisk or at the rate or dollar symbols are not going to evolve, or not going to involve, not going to allow. And then no two fields should be have the same name. No two fields. It means that first one you have same name of a student, and second also if you want to give the name of a student, no, you need to vary it. Name of the student, you can give MBA, you can give the name of the student as MCOM, you can give the variation as UG, PG, undergraduation, post graduation, you can give. But there should not be no unique name. There should be unique names itself. There should not be any duplication of the variable names. And name should not have any spaces also. If you want to give the spaces, give an underscore symbol over there, and so that you can also write. SPSS will pick up the duplicate names and also assigns a new and unique names also. And at that time, SPSS directly pickups and also makes some changes in the name. At the time, when you go for the analysis, it's very difficult to analyze. That's why better to avoid yourself to go for the duplicates names. Better to go for a unique form of names. Then this is variable view. Variable do we have taken the same thing, numeric column dot. This is a variable type. This is here in this column numeric type. It's we are taking numeric. Otherwise, you can also take column dot scientific notation. If you want writing something as dollar in form of rupees, you can use dollar. In form of date, joining date of an individual, relieving date of an individual. If you are writing something about the date of birth, then you need to give there as the numeric is not the correct appropriate and the date is a correct appropriate. Then you can, basing on this, you can also select. and these are values. We'll see how I have given you. I said you already. The one is for very satisfied. The two is for satisfied. Like this, you can give the number here and also label here, and you can click on the add option. Then you'll be able to add the things. Then like this, you can also export the data and import the data also. We will see this. Just the type of scales is that I have said that four type of scales can be seen here. The four types of scales is that first one nominal, the second one ordinal, third one ratio, and also interval. These are the four type of scales, and these four type of scales can be categorized and subcategorized into two because for placing the qualitative data, if you are using the qualitative data, you can use nominal scale or ordinal scale for using qualitative. What is qualitative data? In form of measuring. No publications, no records, no data is available. Just you are measuring personally by basing of observations, interviews, surveys. Then if you are getting the data, then that is called the qualitative data. And that is done by for that type of data, you can use the nominal scale or ordinal scale. And the second one is called quantitative data. For quantitative analysis, for quantitative type of data analysis, you can use the ratio or intervals. And when you're writing something about the assets, when you're something writing something about the liabilities, when you're something writing about NPS, then these are the published reports which are available and also the data which is available to you. And for that type of data, you can use the interval, either the interval or the ratio as a scale of measurement when you're entering the data in form of the variables. When you're entering the variables, you can give directly. We will get a drop down button over there, and then drop down button directly you can place it. Either it's a nominal form or ordinal form or ratio or interval. You can select and you can place this. Then I have given some examples over here. Then in nominal form, known as the qualitative data, yes or no, regarding the gender, regarding the ethnicity, known as absolute 0 point not applicable. Means there is no such differentiation. We'll give some family size. Family size will not be a 0, will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basing on the things, you can also use. And second one is that ordinal values regarding attitude questions, self-rated health or education level questions, you can give as an ordinal scale of measurement. And regarding ratios, and you can give this age, you can calculate this, it's a quantitative data. Income is a quantitative data. School marks is also a quantitative data. The same way, the temperature is also measurable and also you'll get the quantitative data itself. That's why it is been ratio and interval are the two types of things which you are going to see in form of the quantitative, and the first two types are called qualitative things. Then what type of categories, what type of charts generally you prefer? What type of general categories or charts you are going to prefer is that in form of nominal or ordinal data. If you are taking the nominal data, then for this type of data, the categorical data known as the nominal data or ordinal data, then we are going to get the frequency table. Frequency table, for frequency table, you can also construct a frequency table, or you can construct a cross tabulation table, or a bar chart can be created, a pie chart can be created, and also calculation of mode can be created. And for the scales which are for which you are using ratio scales or interval scales, you can use histogram, scatter plot, mean, median, minimum, maximum, range, and standard deviation can be used. And being frank, what generally do that is that it's better to give only the demographic profile of an individual. When you're studying something, when you're writing something, if you have something called demographic profile, known as name of an individual, age, family size, income levels, and whatever the things are there, then for that directly you give the first one nominal scale, ordinal scale, and then for the regarding the second thing called whatever the other questions are there, qualitative measurement forms of questions are there, and all those things you can just apply the ratio scale. And ratio scale is a simple one, easily directly apply, and you can make the things done easily. This application form of you can also see here. And then just now we go to the SPSS. What I'm going to do is that I'm just pressing on the SPSS, just I'm just opening the SPSS data. This is what Then this is SPSS, and what you are going to see is that SPSS data sheet, the SPSS home screen. This is a home screen where you can see about the data view. I have said that two screens will be available in the data editor. This is the data editor screen, and in this data editor screen, you come across the two things called data view and also variable view. What is data view and what is variable view? The data view will be done only when you enable some variables. Nothing can be done here. Then it will not accept, it will not take. It will not take, and also take, and also then the data will not be accurate. Why? Because you have not enabled any variables here. See, the variables will not be. After enabling the variables here, then you can give the data variables here. Then this, in this, just I'm removing the data here. I'm just see what happens here is that first you need to give the name. You need to give the name of the any variable. Just name. I'm giving the name. Just I'm giving the name. Why? Because it does not allow any spaces here. Then name, then in form of numeric, or if you form of numeric, if you are giving in form of numeric, also you can give numeric, or if you are going for the text string, you can use and click on OK. 8 characters is allowed. 8 characters is allowed. If not, you are only dealing with the only the particular fields which are in numerical forms. Better to go for the numerical forms. You can go for numerical forms as well, because these are the name cannot be analyzed, because these are individual databases. Individual data names will be getting over there. You cannot make the analysis part. Then what I'm doing is that income, then you can give name. Name is there with 8 characters, and also I'm making it as with this 12. The decimal points is no decimal points is allowed. Decimal points is allowed. Then here name of the student. Name of the student I have given here. Then values. No values required. No values required, because we cannot analyze anything by seeing on the name of the student. That's why I'm not assigning any values, and also no missing one, because every individual will get some name. Every individual will get some name. So no missing values also. And columns, if you want any columns also you can add. And the alignment, see left, right, and center. Just I'm pressing as center. Then the scale, regarding the scale, it's a qualitative data. Just select ordinal or nominal. Better to go for ordinal. And now see, come here and see the name is been highlighted. The name field has been highlighted here, and you can enter the data here. You can enter the data here. See, it is not going to enable, because in form of numeric, you have given in form of numeric. Numeric form of data is being given. And then what you can do is that name, you can press F2 same way where you are pressing the F2 in the Excel sheet. Here also you can press the F2 in the Excel sheet. Here also in the name of the bank. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to define the values for this. Then the first is the value is 1, and here the public sector bank, and the second one I'm going to add PVS known as private sector bank, and just click on OK. Then I'm going to give values, and every respondent will give whether to choose, whether they need to choose only one or two, either the first public sector, there is a customer of public sector bank or the private sector bank. Then I can write here as 1, I can write here as 2. If I write the 3, then also it will take. But what happens here? It is only limited to only 1 and 2. It will take the data, but no need to use this. We cannot calculate this. The data will be missing over there. That's why take care. Also give only the data which is related to the concerned things. I have given the 11, 12, 15. 15 fields I have taken. And then I'm asking them the level of satisfaction. The level of satisfaction. Then what I'm taking is that satisfaction level. Then the form of numeric I'm going to measure. Then width also I'm taking. You can take your width, also decimal points. If you have decimal points, you can base. Because I'm not going to give the decimal points for them. I'm going to give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a scale. And level of satisfaction. Then here I'm going to define the values as labels. 1, that very satisfied, 2 satisfied, 3 neutral, and 4 dissatisfied, 5 very dissatisfied. And just click on OK, then you can write, and then you can come to the data view, and here you can enter the data. You can enter the data like this. You can enter the data. Then I have entered the data. I have entered the data for 15 responses. It means 15 people has responded to me, and I entered the data for 15 responses. What you need to do is that first we need to make a frequency table over there so that we can able to understand. And manually you need to understand, or otherwise you can keep each and every question in individual questionnaire with you. Whatever the questionnaire you have supplied, you can keep your questionnaire with you, and also you can annotate the data here. And then what I can do here is only the major task. You can do whatever the statistical tools, statistical tools known to you. You can do all the tools here. You can apply all the tools over here. First, what we'll do is that we'll apply only the general statistical tools which you are going to see. It means that mean, a number, or mean, whatever things are there, up to correlation, up to regression, whatever things are there, we'll see only the first basic things up to creation of charts for today. What I have done is, here I have taken with the right side. In variable you can see this, the data is taken for the center alignment. So the data is been aligned in the form of the center here in data view. Here in the form of satisfaction levels have taken in form of the right side, and have taken, and measure I have not given here. Then measure I can give the scale because it's a numerical form, quantitative form of data. Then I can give as a scale form. And you can make any such changes over here. No need to get tense about the data here, and data can be manipulated here anywhere, and data can be changed over there. If they find any mistake or their mistake, if you're placing the data wrongly, you can easily directly you can enter also. No need to think about this. And now what I'm going to do is that just I have some menus over here known as the file menu, edit menu, view, data, transform, analyze, direct mapping, and all these are the menus are there. Just we'll see a glance at the menus first, then we'll see what we can do here. In file menu, as usually what you have is new, open, save as, and whatever the other functions are there, print, preview, and all those things are there. And these will be routinely given the file menus. And edit, you have undo, redo, replace, go to, find, and all these options are there. And then view, the common bars is that status bar, toolbars, menu bars, all these things are there. The only thing is that you need to find the value labels. You need to find the value labels here, and this value labels is the thing which converts the numerical form to the descriptive form, numerical form to the text form. Just you can click on this. See what is the choice is that first one is for the label for one is PUSC, known as public sector banks, and they are chosen with the number 4 or 5. It is the 1, then satisfaction levels. It is 2. You can see here it is typing over here. It is displaying over here. We are seeing the 3 is a neutral form. 4 is dissatisfaction. 5 is very dissatisfied. And even you can also make this from here also. It's a keyboard. It's a shortcut here in the ribbon. Then just you can place this value labels will be changing over from the numerical form to the text forms also. Based on the requirements, you can also think, because if you're having any doubt on this, if you're getting some value which is not able to understand, see I'm pressing here 6, and when you make this 6, see it is not been changing. Why? Because it's an invalid, known as the value is been not determined. The value of 6, the number 6 is not been given, but still as a number it is being accepted, but we cannot make it for an analysis purpose. It will not be taken into consideration. Then when you press on 5, automatically it changes, and it also gives the values which are being defined by the user. And come to the data view. In data view we have some variables. Which we can use also. What happens is that there are multiple sets of responses. It means I have multiple set called public sector bank and private sector bank. Even in public sector bank, I have 2 more multiple sets called one bank of XYZ and one bank of ABC. Then if I want to differentiate, you can also differentiate using the multiple responses sheets also. You can also merge, and also you can split. Based on the features of multiple responses. You have the multiple responses set here. You can sort multiple responses. And if you want to split the file, as separate files, 2 separate files, you can split. And also if you want to select the cases, different cases, you can also do this. When you do, you can get all those things. The only thing is that you have the only function, what are the main function is, what are the main activities are there, what are the statistical tools are, all those are enabled in the analyze tool. Analyze tool is the main function or the main menu which are going to see in the SPSS. This is a major tool where we have enabled all the statistical functions. All the statistical functions like see frequencies and cross tabulations and one sample test, independent sample test, t-test, ANOVA, and you have something called non-parametric test called one sample test, and dialog boxes and quality control charts, SQC charts and also ABC control charts are there, and all those charts are there. Here itself we can do. And also we have something about the reliability analysis. Reliability analysis itself that whether your data which has been taken, whether the variables you have taken are accurate or not. We can also go for the reliability analysis called, we have this scale. In this reliability analysis is also a measuring tool. It's also check something about the reliability of your data, whether your data is appropriate or not, whether whatever the data which has been assumed by you is appropriate or not. And for this, we have a standard measure called 0.75. Just click on this reliability measurement, and you're taking the two items. I've taken two items for measurement, and just click on OK. Then see the reliability is minus 6.74 dot sorry, 0.674. It is negative. It is negative. And basing on this, only the one variable, you cannot judge about the bank. You cannot judge about the performance of the bank. If you take the more variables as on when you add 15, 20, 25 variables, then the reliability will come out to the positive. And also if it is more than 0.75, 0.75, then you can accept the reliability, can be accepted, and your data will be very accurate and also very genuine to make the analysis. If it is only the minus or the 0.75, below 0.75, then it is not going to accept anywhere. Then see, this is an output screen. What you are going to get, it's a separate screen. See, this is a separate screen which is being popped up when you are asking to solve something or prove something. See, and you can also minimize this, and then converting this. And what I can do is that just click on analyze, then have something about the frequencies. Just clicking on the frequencies, frequency distribution table, generating a frequency distribution table is the first element. Then I'm just clicking on the frequencies, and what I want is on the basis of level of satisfaction, on the basis of level of satisfaction, on the basis of name of the bank. Just you can pull this, just you can select this, and also you can push this, and it comes out the variables. These are the variables which are been in the data and which are identified variables which are used. And then we have four options called statistics, charts, bootstrap, and also format. Just press on the statistics. Other options are not yet required. And in this, see many measures called measures of center tendency, measures of dispersion, and also deviation, known as quartile deviation, percentiles, and all these things are there. You can use all those things formula. Whatever the formulas, whatever the equations, whatever the things, statistical tools you want to apply, you can apply the statistical tools. This is. If you want to calculate something about the mean, median, mode, and sum, just select those tools, then click on continue, and just press on OK. Then see what you're getting is that with regard to the name of the bank, there are 15 values. These are the 15 valid values, and the missing value is 0. It means 15 fields are filled. 15 fields are filled, no field is missing. And the mean value is 1.47. It means between 1 and 2. 1 and 2, the value is 1.47. The median value is 1, which is most repeated one is a 1. And the mode value is also 1. And the sum of values, you can see this, count this, and also you'll get the 22 as the value. Then whereas the second one called level of satisfaction. Then level of satisfaction, the mean value, the number, total number is 15, the same mean, median, mode, and also sum value. And when you compare in between the banks, we'll get in private sector banks, how many said satisfied, how many said dissatisfied, how many polled as things. You can also use this. See, frequencies regarding the 8% are there regarding the public sector bank. The percentage is this much, and valid percentage cumulative. And in private sector banks, there are 7 people responded. Then the percentage is this, and the percentage is this. Even with regard to satisfaction rate, very satisfied 2 people, satisfied 3 people, neutral 2, dissatisfied 5, and very dissatisfied 3. Then the total is 15, and you can get the data done here. Then 100 frequency is there. And like this, you will get the outputs in the output screen itself. And what you can do is that you can just double click on this, Double click on this and you can right click on, you can copy this. You can copy this directly and you can paste it in the any window sheet also, any sheet also you can paste it. Just I'm opening the sheet here, and in the sheet you can also paste the sheet. Just I go for this. Just I'll copy the sheet and just I'll paste the control V, and you can make your changes. Whatever the changes is there, you can make all your changes, whatever the fields you want to give, whatever the borders, whatever the things you want to do, you can make all the changes. No such repetition, no such restriction is there on making the things done. Okay, come back to the things. And what you have done is first one, click on analyze, click on descriptive statistics, then in sequences, we have seen something about the mean, median, mode, and sum. I have taken this. Now we'll take something about the standard deviation, variance, and also range, minimum, maximum, standard error. I hope you know what is this. Standard deviation is what? Variance, range, minimum, and maximum. We can calculate. That's why I'm taking this. And this click on continue. And I'm taking only one measurement in order to test. Okay, just click on OK. See, with regard to this, what is the standard deviation? Is that only one table, one is coming over here? Why? Because name of the bank is not displaying over here. See, here we got two variables. We have taken two variables. We have got two variables, individual variables. Here we have taken only one variable. Then for the variable called level of satisfaction, we have calculated known as n is 15. The standard error is 0.35. Standard deviation, the variance, the range is 4, and the minimum value and maximum value. How you calculate the range is maximum minus minimum. Maximum minus minimum will get the range. Then you have got range 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. The minimum value is 1, maximum value is 5. You are going to get. And see, we also got the table for level of satisfaction. We have not got the bank, because here we got the bank also. Here we got something about the bank, but we have not got the bank because we have not taken that variable. Name of the bank is not been taken. That's why it is not been taken. Only the level of satisfaction is taken with these values. Even if you want the same, known as I want mean, median, mode, and also these variables also, just come back to your home screen, just click on analyze. Then the options are ready-madely available to you. These will be ready-made unless you press the reset option. Unless you press the reset option, here there is press reset option, the frequency, the options will be enabled over there. And just click on OK. See now, we have got n, mean, median, mode, the standard deviation, range, sum, and all these things you have got. Based on the required data, whatever the data we are going to require and whatever you want to interpret, whatever the analysis you are going to interpret, only present up to that type amount of data, not more than the data. If you want only the standard deviation, only present the standard deviation. Don't present the standard error. Don't explain the standard error also. Sometimes the differences will not be able to correctly analyze. That's why only take those variables which are able to analyze and also interpret. Okay, then we also have something called, I'm removing all these things, skewness and also curtacies. You can also do this also. If you want something about the percentiles, then what percentile? Percentile is, we need to add percentiles. We need to percentiles add. We can do that. For tiles or percentile also you can add this. On the basis of percentage, what is the percentage of range of what you want? You can take. And skewness and curtacies. Then skewness, see, skewness value is been given, standard error and curtacies value is been given. Directly we'll get the values over there, and there you can also get the no problem in these values. The first one is that generating a basic tools called central tendency tools and also dispersion tools and also skewness tools is the first level. And we also have something regarding the generation of table, generation of graphs also, creation of graphs also, how we create the graphs for this. And just we have something called descriptive statistics, and also we have here graphs is a separate tool will be enabled here over here. Either you can also go for analyze, and here we have some legacy box. Legacy dialog box is there. Graphical and legacy dialog box is there. In graphs you have legacy dialog box dialogs, and in this you can select, there are bar charts, line charts, pair charts, many more charts are there. Just click on bar charts. just click on the bar charts and see whether it is asking that which type of chart is required. Either you require a simple chart, a clustered, or stacked, means step by step. Then I want a simple chart. I want a simple chart, and you want to define this. What you want to define is that what you should get on the x-axis and what you should get on the y-axis. Then I need some x-axis here, and in form of the columns, I want this, and click on OK. See what happens here is that, sorry, just a minute, it is given individually on the basis of the data set. Just a minute. Graphs, legacy dialog box, simple, define, and we are seeing public sector banks. This is about the public sector bank, and this is about the public sector banks. Name of the bank is given here. You cannot change your data also. If you want to go for the bar chart, you can go for bar chart. If you want any other form of data also, you can so do. You can go for the other type of chart also. I'll show you the other type also. Graphs, legacy data box, and here if you want something about the line chart, the simple line chart, define the category axis, rows and panels. See, this is a line charts, how we are going to see. But better to go for, we don't have editing options here. Just we need to copy this. We have to copy this here. We need to copy this here, and you need to paste it here, same as usually what you have done for the, what you have done in the tables. They can add here and you can do, but you cannot edit here. You cannot edit here. You cannot edit the pictures in the, as usually what you are going to do in the MS Excel. We are not going to do in the, these options not available in this, because creation of charts is not been given that priority in this. In graphs, legacy, they have pie charts. If you're taking something about the, actually we have done something about the family expenditure chart. For this, the pie chart is the only the appropriate one, and for that the pie charts been enabled over there. Then you have some more variables, the other variables also regarding, I'll add one more variable here. Rating of services. Rating of services, I'm taking the numeric number, and how do you rate the services? And in this first one, good. You can take on your best analysis, no problem. Better and best. And just click on OK. Then come to the variable view. You can give the scale as nominal scale or ordinal scale. You can take your scale and just come to the data view, and you can add the data here 1, 2, 3. Only the variables are 1, 2, 3. And I have given the decimal point over here. That's why it is being enabling with the decimal. It is being giving with the decimal. I can go to the variable view and I can remove this decimal point and just come back to the data view, and whatever things is there, whatever things you are doing, it will be automatically saved. And finally also, if you want to save the file, you can click on the save option and you can save the file. Now we can say this, the rating scale is this and the saving satisfaction level is this. Then now I create the chart, simple chart. Just click on reset and the data values will be resetted. Then now we get the cross tab. See, very satisfied, on very satisfied, and you are taking good. How many people are saying good? And also these people says very satisfied. These people, no one is saying that satisfied, and the people saying is neutral and very satisfied, and also satisfied, dissatisfied. Then you can also rate. You can also rate here, and you can also make the things done. And based on the data which is available to you, and you can make this analysis in a better way, and you can also present in a very better view. Now we have seen the first one is descriptive statistics, and also this. Just I want to make the analysis with respect to the cross tabulation. Known as cross tabulation means that we need to compare some XYZ column to the ABC column. Then we can make this cross tabulation here. Then here descriptive statistics we have some called cross tab. and what you want in form of the rows and what you want in form of columns. I want in form of the level of satisfaction in form of rows because 5 rows and satisfaction levels only 3 columns. Whereas 1, 2, 3 columns only good, better, best is the 3 columns we have. And what type of statistics you want, whether you want mean, median, mode, and what are the things you want, then you can select the things and also just click on OK. You'll get the things. See, this is a level of satisfaction scale is being taken on the row wise and the column wise. How do you rate the services is being taken, and the common wing, the 15 value, the total value of 15 will be given over here. You can rate the services. You can interrelate it. You can interrelate you can interrelate and also compare the two variables. And to compare the two variables also, this cross tabulation will be very helpful to you. Then it means that the current ratio and the performance, the current ratio of the company and also the performance of the company in form of profits, and the NPS and also performance of the company. When you go for the other things, the sales and also the production levels. If you want to make a comparison, inter-comparison, then you can use this type of cross tabulation. You can use this. You can present this also. It is very easy to copy and also it is very easy to analyze also. You can click on the data and you can paste it, and you can also edit the data here also. If you want to edit the data, you can edit the data here, and you can also present the things. Then this is in the cross tabulation known as cross tabs, and you can use this if you want something in form of the with respect to the bank. With respect to the bank, how do you rate the services? Select only these two variables as one as row and one as column, and just click on OK button. Then see, with regard to the public sector banks, you have two options for public sector bank and public sector bank. In public sector bank, 3 is saying that they feel good, 2 is saying better, and 3 is the best. Whereas private sector banks, 2 is saying good and 3 is saying better and 2 is saying the best. The total is 8 plus 7 is equal 15 is a frequency. Then we are getting things done. We can make an analysis that with regard to the public sector banks, the people feel that the people 3 responses find that it is providing a good rate of services. And whereas the better rate of services is 2 and 3, basing on your analysis, you can make the things done. Next, we also have analyze option in descriptives, also cross tabulation. In cross tabulation only, we come across the other things called various statistical tools called chi-square test, all these things here, and we'll see it in tomorrow's class only because we have some more tools we have here, and that tool should be identified here. And just we can also have the table. We can also go for descriptives in this. If you want any other charts also, if you want t-test, you can do the t-test. If you have independent sample test, we can do pair test. We can do ANOVA. We can also do correlation. You can do regression. You can do, and also scaling techniques, reliability techniques, and sample test. One sample test, independent sample test. You can make this independent sample test also. And quality control charts, quality control charts, Q charts, SQC charts, statistical quality control charts. You can also make this done. And how do you split the table? How do you make the tables? How do you form the tables? We require a huge data and I'll send, I cannot access this file directly. I'll make it a PPT. I'll send the same PPT and also this file. And I will give a soft copy of this software, SPSS, to your concerned teachers, so that you can also collect through your pen drives or the CD disks. You can collect from them, and also can use this also. This is not it is not available through online. Cannot send it. It's almost 700 MB. Cannot share it to online. That's why we are not going to share you. If you want to do, you can copy it from your mediums and you can solve it. You can do it. You can also practice on this. Then tomorrow we'll see about all the statistical tools, all the other tools. Making the creation of a table, up to the creation of charts, only the basic statistical tools you have done today. And tomorrow we'll go for the in-depth analysis, and also I'll give you the table analysis also. How do you interpret the table? I'll show you a sample table and sample table, and also how to write the interpretation for the sample table also in tomorrow's class. Okay, any more doubts? Any doubts on this? Students, you can ask any doubts. If you have any doubts in this, you can ask me. Either you can post in the chat box also, no problem. No shortcut keys, Amma. Only the same shortcut keys which are there. Copy and paste on all those things. Control C is for copy and also paste. Control V. You can use
Same
all those
never
copy
copy,
paste
sir.
over.
What we use the same we can apply here, no, sir.
Yes, same we can also apply here. Copy and pasting over there. And also if you want to insert the data into the cell, just press on F2 button so that you can also insert the data over there. And in the option, then the cell will be highlighted. And the same cell address will be presented over here. See, this is 15 cell. It's a 15 cell and cell address been presenting over there. And just you press on the save option, the same file will be saved and the file will be saved with a .sav. Already we have seen in the presentation that the file names will be extension. The extension of the file names you have seen here. See, the files will be saved with an extension file. Yes, AV for file and also for file for output file it will be saved by .spo is the output file we are going to save here and in this form.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then anything more? Mm, madam, Marga madam. Hello,
Yes, sir.
madam. We have done for the first part of today, and we'll continue the things of related to statistical tools of ANOVA and chi-square test and all the other tools. We'll make it tomorrow, madam.
Okay, sir.
We require a huge data.
Okay,
We
sir.
are not any we cannot do with this data. That's why I'll make a data file, separate data file, and I'll share the data file to you also, so that we can also make the things done.
Okay, sir. Participants, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay. I request all the participants to turn on your videos for a photograph. Shravante madam, is it okay?
Okay, madam. We'll join tomorrow back. I'll send the files regarding the first basic tools today, and tomorrow we'll make the things done.
Okay, sir.
Okay, madam. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, all the
Thank you, madam.
participants.
Thank you.